Henry wanted desperately, I would hear him praying for the men of his fellowship, the men that he was a shepherd over. It's not that the women don't have great things to say, because we do. We do. We do. We can be weird too. I'm not saying it's always 100%. But he really wanted you men to really come into where your calling. And that calling is to be men, the army of God, strong leaders in your home. I didn't say dictators, strong men. And he really wanted you to start to share from your Bible study anything. Because there's something about a man sharing, led by God, that ignites something you can't even see in a fellowship, in a family, in a business. Wherever he is the head of, it just brings a unity and there's a congealing and a concreting of something in the spirit that I can't even articulate, but I know it. Because Henry and I were discuss this sometimes ad nauseum, because his heart's cry was for all of us, including the women, of course, but the men to really take their place. And I know that's kind of a dichotomy when I'm standing here being the head of the church, but I am saying the very same thing he is. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, like I said, that the elders, I could call on any one of them right now and say, give me something that God gave you. I want to hear it. And we'd be here for half an hour, with David maybe an hour. I'm just saying that they would have some nuggets and some great things that you need to hear. And I know that's true, because not only is it true because they get in the Word, but because their calling, that is something that develops and they're bubbling and letting happen. But you have no less of a calling. Right. No less. Right. So with my exhortation, primarily to you now, before I do this, ladies, I got to talk to you. One of the biggest and ongoing questions I've had for 26 years, after passivity is revealed in a teaching, is what do I do if he won't take his place? Well, you shut up. You just let him take his place. But what if he messes it all up? He will. But if you are in right standing with God, it makes no difference. God will come to your rescue, both of yours. Now, you can help him. If he asks you, what do you think I should do? You can say, well, what do you think you should do? This is a ping pong, okay? Well, what do you think you should do, dear husband? Well, I don't know. What do you think, dear wife? Well, I think maybe it's in the Word somewhere. Oh, where do you think it might be? I'm not really sure, but I think you could find out. Have you prayed about it? No, dear wife, I have not. That's a good place to start. Let me know how it goes.
Sounds like you've had a lot of practice.
I have. So with that being said, ladies, you just need to back off, because if you are afraid he is going to screw it up, then, and he might, and that's fine, okay? I'm not saying that he won't. But the part that's most important is, who is your source anyway? You have to trust God no matter what. Remember, no fear, no fraud. Because when you're in fear, you take on another identity. And that might be the head of the home. And you don't want to do that. So what you have to do, ladies, you just need to back up, lovingly pray for your husband. Don't get snitty and snarkly on him. And just let him learn how to do this with all the mistakes that he probably will make. And that's okay, because you make them too. He's fixing you.